Hello once more, everyone. Welcome back to my channel back here on YouTube. Doing my Week 7 NFL predictions back here on this Tuesday. After Week 6, where I went 4-3, and Week 5, where I went 5-2. My record improves to 25-17 over the last 2 weeks. Last week, the listed video with the notebook instead. This week, we're back at it doing the full video, and it's going to be a little bit longer. And also, some interesting matchups that for this week coming up with a lot of games where we have teams that are 500 or under 500 for some reason. A lot of not a very good NFL this year. Some teams are not very good. It's hard to see who's going to win the divisions this year. My predictions for the preseason might be wrong at this point for most of them, but we'll have to wait and see. We have a long season. It's only week 7. After this week, we have like 11 weeks left. So it's time to get started and get back into it and get ready for Week 7. That being said, let's get started with our first matchup. And yes, our first matchup comes to us from Baltimore, Maryland, from the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Browns are a team that come in at 2-4, while the Ravens come in at 3-3. The AFC East, the AFC North this year has been a division where it's very interesting to see. And this week, this prediction video, I have all 4 AFC East, AFC North teams. I'll be predicting games for this week. Very interesting matchups for sure. Question is, Cleveland Browns, they still have like this week, next week, they still have like 5 weeks before they get their starting quarterback, Deshaun Watson, back because he's suspended for the first 11 games. For the Ravens, on the other hand, they have Lamar Jackson, who's pretty good. He has Mark Andrews, a tight end, wide receivers who are there as well. The Ravens, I think, are a better team in this matchup against Cleveland. And I really think the Ravens will figure out a way to distribute the ball around with Lamar Jackson. The Ravens' defense, I'm not sure about the Ravens' defense. I don't know much about them at all. But I do like the Ravens in this matchup to go 4-3 on the year. So I think the Ravens will take control and get a win in the AFC North this week against the Browns. And you're going to win. Sorry to Cleveland Browns fans, but you don't have a starting quarterback probably until week 11. The Browns, I think, are going to be a tough team to look at this season, but the Ravens, they look like they're going to take control this week and go to 4-3. With that being said, we went to our next game in Cincinnati between the Bengals and the Falcons. Between the Falcons and the Bengals, Joe Burrow coming in against the Falcons. Falcons, yeah, this is a team that's 3-3. They lost to Tampa Bay, so the Buccaneers are ahead of them in the standings, but they both have the same record of 500 of 3-3. The Bengals and Joe Burrow, they come in at 3-3 too. So the Bengals, yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup to look at as well. Both teams at 500 in this matchup. And I don't know. The Bengals, I think, have the better team. The Falcons, their team, I don't know much about them. They're young. A lot of players I don't know, including their running backs, receivers, a lot of players I don't know. Bengals, I know this team because they made the Super Bowl last year and lost to the Rams in Super Bowl 56. This is a team I predicted that could finish either 1, 2, or 3 in the AFC at the end of this season alone. And I'll tell you this, the Bengals are a team I like with Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, everyone that mix around. They have multiple running backs. I have like 5 running backs on their roster this year for the Bengals, I've noticed. And Joe Burrow's a quarterback. This seems going to be pretty darn good if the Bengals can step it up in Week 7. I think this is going to be the Bengals' week to prove that they're going to get wins and start making them forward. Falcons, I'm not so sure about the Falcons at all. So I'm taking the Bengals in this matchup because I like the Bengals, and I think they go 4-3 as well with a win. So they'll be tied for first with Baltimore. I don't know if those two teams have played. I'll have to look at the schedule from here and see when those 2 teams play. If they play next week, who knows? Maybe that will be a prediction video in the video next week. So stay tuned to find out. So I'm picking the Bengals in this matchup. Our third matchup takes us to Tennessee, Nashville, between the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans, who were number 1 seed in the AFC last year, come in at 3-2. Colts come in at 3-2-1 in their first 6. Titans coming off a bye week at 3-2. Now this matchup, okay, I'm looking at it. The Titans at 3-2, Colts are 3-2-1 in 6 games. That tie doesn't really count, so you're basically 3-2, 3-2-1. With the tie doesn't count, it's a tie. Titans come in at 3-2 as well. This matchup, because it's in Tennessee and the Titans are playing at home, this is a matchup the Titans could take advantage of with Ryan Tannehill and the Titans offense and Derrick Henry. This could be a Tennessee Titans victory coming into week number 7 here. I think both teams played pretty well, and I think you'll get a pretty good matchup. But it depends on which team is going to be the good team in this matchup. I think Tennessee playing at home against Indianapolis and the Colts with Matt Ryan at quarterback. I think the Colts might have a little bit of issues this week against Tennessee. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the matchups. But I do like Tennessee the way they play, and I do like Indianapolis the way they play. Both teams are pretty good. But I've got to go with Tennessee, the home team in this matchup. If they play learn on this year against each other when they do meet up again, I'm pretty sure it could be Indianapolis at home. I think this matchup is going to be a split series this year in the 2 games they play. But I'm taking Tennessee in the first matchup this week. Rolling right along into our 4th matchup of the day. In LA, Justin Herbert and the Chargers come off their win last night against Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Going against the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith. Russell Wilson's old team. So Russell Wilson and the Broncos lost in LA last night against the Chargers in overtime by a field goal. And the Seahawks, Russell Wilson's old team, coming into LA to play the Chargers this week. Yeah, we're favoring the home team a lot this week. I don't know if that's going to change. We'll have to wait and see. But the Chargers 4-2, Seahawks, they're pretty good actually. I think I saw they're 4-2 as well, maybe 3-2, 3-3. I don't remember currently. But this matchup, I like the Chargers in this matchup. Justin Herbert has some great running backs. He has a receiver core that can go out and make catches. The Chargers are a pretty good team. They're 4-2. They can compete this year. Even though they lost Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs, also 4-2, have an advantage. Kansas City Chiefs and 49ers predicted that game here in a little bit. But we're focusing on this game here for multiple reasons. It's a pretty good matchup to watch. And it's going to be interesting to see who wins this matchup. I like the Chargers because they have a good team. Geno Smith, he has a few running backs, a few wide receivers, has a few tight ends to make some match. The Seahawks defense, they're not what they used to be, but the Chargers defense is pretty good this year. The Chargers know how to win, actually. And with that being said, I like Justin Herbert and the Chargers in this matchup this week. So we're going with the Chargers, the 4th home team in a row we're taking to win. We'll see if the home team gets favored this week in all 7 games or not. So stay tuned to find out. Coming up, our next matchup in San Francisco, late afternoon on Sunday, between a rematch of Super Bowl 54. I dropped the whole football helmet for the 49ers. There, we got it. Now it's ready. Rematch of Super Bowl 54. Get ready to come Sunday afternoon. Going to be interesting to see this matchup. A rematch of Super Bowl 54 between the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, my favorite team, against Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. So, 49ers, what are they known for? They're known for winning. They made it Super Bowl 54 against the Chiefs back a few years back. 49ers made it to an NFC title game last week against Rams and lost. And I'm just going to say this. Since Trey Lance has gone down, Jimmy Garoppolo has stepped in and played okay, I think. I haven't seen many games the 49ers have played in. I think I saw one. They did lose, though. This matchup, the Chiefs are a very good team. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, he can spread the ball around. He has Travis Kelce as tight end. He has Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 2 receivers. I watched the game over the weekend on Sunday against the Bills that Kansas City lost, and played pretty good. The Bills got the win, though. Kansas City, though, needs to do good this week. They're 4-2. They're in first place. They beat the Chargers earlier, so like I said a minute ago. But the Chiefs are a pretty good offense. The question I have about Kansas City, though, is the running back situation. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has only gotten maybe 30 to 40% of the snaps, the running plays. Jerick McKinnon's been involved quite a bit. Ronald Jones Jr., Pacheco, the new rookie running back, he's been involved on special teams, kick returns, punt returns. I think Kansas City, if you have multiple running backs who can play good and run the ball a bit, you're going to end up doing a pretty good job, because you need multiple running backs to survive a season. That's what happened when they went to Super Bowl 55 and lost to the Buccaneers a few years ago with Tom Brady. Kansas City had running backs in the matchup that year. Clyde Edwards-Helaire did get hurt in that year. The regular season, missed the last 3 games of the season. Chiefs still made the playoffs, made it to Super Bowl 55, but lost. And I think Kansas City, if they can do that this year with the running backs, spread the ball around with the running backs, receiving core, they're going to be pretty good. They're going to make the playoffs as a number 1, 2, or 3, like it said way back when, 5, 6, about 8 weeks ago. But I'm going to go with Kansas City in this matchup on the road in San Francisco, because I think Kansas City just has a little bit something else than San Francisco does. We'll have to wait and see what happens, though. Which we're moving on to our next matchup in Pittsburgh. No, in Miami, actually. Dolphins, Steelers. Rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett going up in his 4th start after winning over the weekend against a pretty good team. Yeah, Steelers won over the weekend. They beat Tampa Bay and Tom Brady over the weekend, which I predicted the Buccaneers in that game. The Steelers won 20-18. Kenny Pickett 1-1 as a starter so far in Pittsburgh. Going against the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa, who should be back this week. I saw Tua Tagovailoa is practicing for the Dolphins this week, but the Steelers, they're a little something else in this matchup coming up into week 7. And this is on Sunday night, NBC on Sunday Night Football, I believe, the Sunday night matchup. And I think Kenny Pickett, so far 1-1, 2 games in a starter, game number 3 for him on the road, second road game in the last 3 weeks. I think the second time on the road might be better for him as a quarterback, as a rookie quarterback, might be better for him. The Steelers are a good team. The Dolphins, they're good too for a while. They're 4-2, right behind the Bills at the moment. And I think the Steelers have a good offense. They're going to play pretty good with Kenny Pickett at the helm this year. I think the rest of the year going down, if you look from week 7 all the way through week 18, I think Kenny Pickett has a chance to win at least 7 or 8 games this year as starting quarterback for the Steelers. And I'm going to give the Steelers the win this week against Miami on Sunday night, because I think the Steelers going on the road are going to be good. Kenny Pickett's going to get help. He's going to get a win. Go 2-1 as starter. With that being said, move on to our 7th matchup of the night, which is going to be on Monday night between the New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears, my other favorite team. Justin Fields back in action after losing on Thursday Night Football last week to the Washington Commanders last Thursday. Yeah, this matchup's one of those matchups I'm not really sure about. The Bears come in at 2-4. There's been something wrong with the Bears this year. I think it's the receivers, the offense, the defense. The Bears need help, big time. They need to make a move, make a trade. They need help. They need a receiver. They need a running back. They need something to help them out. The Patriots, yeah, 3-3. It's gonna be an interesting matchup against Mac Jones of the Bears. Mac Jones and Justin Fields, 2 quarterbacks in their second years. I'm just wondering if Justin Fields is going to get help this week in offense, how the Bears are going to do. A few weeks ago against the Giants, the Bears did not pass a lot at all. Last week, the Bears did some of that. There were some bad calls, like there was supposed to be a touchdown to the game for the Bears, but guess what? They didn't call it. They said it was 4th and goal. They missed. They said they didn't get it, but it's nothing to be concerned about. Bears, I think, are much better than I think New England's much better than Bears. New England's built to win, and I think the Bears have a chance, but I think New England's going to show up on Monday night at home in New England and take a win. So I'm taking the Patriots in the Week 7 matchup between the Bears and Patriots next Monday coming up in about 6 days. That being said, I'm going to go over the picks one more time. First matchup in Baltimore between the Browns and Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, over the Browns this week. In Atlanta, in Cincinnati, I like Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, and the Bengals to get a win against the Falcons. In Tennessee, I like Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, the Titans against Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts, who I think will come around. I think next time they play in Indianapolis later on in the year, I think Indianapolis is going to get a win then. I don't know if they played already once. This might be the second matchup. I have no idea, though. But in LA with the Chargers and the Seahawks, Geno Smith, Seahawks, and Russell Wilson's former teammates going up against Justin Herbert of the Chargers, who beat the Broncos last night. I think the Chargers in the matchup in San Francisco, Patrick Mahomes and Jimmy Garoppolo, the rematch of Super Bowl 54. I'm going with the Chiefs to win the rematch of Super Bowl 54. In Miami on Sunday Night Football, I'm taking Kenny Pickett and the Steelers against Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins if Tua starts. And then on Monday night next week between the Patriots and the Bears, Fields and Jones, between the two second-year quarterbacks, Mac Jones and Justin Fields. I'm taking New England in that one on Monday night next week. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed today's predictions for Week 7. And also, please comment below who your favorite team's playing, if you think they're going to win this week. Comment below with that. And with that being said, I will see you next week with Week number 8's NFL prediction video right back here next Tuesday. So I hope everyone enjoys Week 7 matchups, and I'll see you next week in Week 8 for the Week 8 predictions. Yeah, going home teams this week. 5 out of 7 games I predicted, I'm taking the home team. So we'll see what happens. That being said, I hope everyone enjoyed. Please remember to watch, like, subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends to do the same if they've not done so already. Also, don't forget to hit that notification button below so you know when I upload a new video. That being said, have a nice day and stay safe, and I will see you right back here next Tuesday with our Week 8 NFL predictions. So stay tuned, stay safe, and peace out, everyone. And bye for now. Have a nice day.